Look good? Okay, Daryl, you ready to be a star? You're okay. See, Daryl? You're all good. Is the light freaking you out a little bit? You're good. Hi guys, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about poison versus venom. So, first off, I want to just introduce, this is Daryl, our bearded dragon. I believe this is the first time you guys have seen him on the YouTube. Eventually we're going to do his own video, but I thought I would bring him along today because he hasn't been on a video yet, and, you know, he needs to be seen too and appreciated. Venom and poison is normally both used incorrectly, and even though venom is kind of a specific type of poison, they are not the same. Actually, they are pretty different in both what they are and how they work. Now, both poison and venomous can be both equally dangerous. They are actually quite useful and interesting in many different ways. And let me just point out before we continue, Daryl is not venomous or poisonous. We're just using him in this video, but he is not venomous or poisonous in any way. Isn't that right, Daryl? You're so cute, Daryl. Many different things though in this world are poisonous and venomous, including animals and even plants. And we will be going over some of those today so you kind of know a general idea. Now, even though poison and venom have similarities, they have to be used differently to work. Poison has to be delivered through swallowing it, touching it, or even breathing it, whereas venom has to be delivered by like a bite or a sting. It has to be injected through the bloodstream. Daryl, you're not helping much. That's not a bug or a blueberry. See?
Is that all it was?
He thought that was a blueberry. That's not a blueberry. That's a cap for the... He thought this was a blueberry. I can sort of see, but look. It's not a blueberry. Look at the disappointment on his face. Look at that. It's not a blueberry. Oh, no. You can't eat it, but it's not blueberry, see? You'll get blueberry afterward, okay?
Betrayal.
Very, very big betrayal. I'm sorry. Let me just put it out of sight. Out of sight, out of mind. The reason venom has to be injected through the bloodstream is because it has small and very large molecules, so it can't get into you like a poison can. Now we're going to go over some poisonous animals. Some of these you probably already know. Some pufferfish can be poisonous, rough-skinned newts, jellyfish, poison dart frogs, even some birds, frogs and toads, salamanders, other types of fish, insects, and even some snakes. Sounds terrible, right? Well, Addie, you just named about every animal I run across every day. Yep. That's exactly right. You'd be amazed by all the animals that are classified as poisonous that you probably run into every day. Some are poisonous enough to harm you, but some is not really poisonous enough to actually harm humans. It's more of for their own predators. So a big thing in the snake hobby is people incorrectly calling venomous snakes poisonous. And as you remember, going through the list of poisonous animals, I did mention some snakes, and that's because it's absolutely true. We don't even have blueberries? No. Oh, Daryl. Now, there is a big difference between venomous and poisonous snakes, so don't, try to correct somebody if they say the snake is actually venomous. It probably most likely is. So, for instance, a venomous snake, like the well-known diamondback rattlesnake, has to inject its venom through large fangs by biting you. While the poisonous snakes, the keeled-back snakes and the garter snakes, is a little bit different because they are indeed poisonous, but Not exactly all the time, and it's a bit confusing because the reason that they can become poisonous is determined on what they eat. So let's say they eat an animal that is poisonous, well then that poison is residing in their mouth. So when they bite you, they actually transfer that poison onto you. Now, these snakes are not venomous at all because they don't have no large fangs to inject it into you, and they don't have venom pouches, which is normally the big cheeks you see that give the venomous snake a triangular head, but don't let that fool you. Some venomous snakes don't actually have a triangular head. It's just certain ones. So you may ask, how do you stay safe from poisonous or venomous animals? And I will tell you some different ways, but let me tell you, it's quite easy even though it doesn't sound it. The easiest way to do that is to actually look up the poisonous and venomous animals. Yeah, you nodded your head, yeah. Research is always the best way to go, isn't it, Daryl? That's not a blueberry, Daryl. We've already been through this. I want to turn you away from blueberry, okay? Or it's not a blueberry. I'm sorry. Now I'm confused. But anyway, so do your research on what is venomous and what is poisonous in your area and learn how to identify them. So when you're out and you come across one, you'll already know so you don't accidentally get bit or, harmed by fooling with this animal or plant. How is venom and poison actually useful to us? And there's several ways actually. You may ask, how is it even useful to us? Because venom and poison can make us very sick and even cause death. Well, actually it is very true. Venom and poison can harm us in many different ways, but they are actually used in ways to help us. If you've ever heard of AntiVenom, then you know that it's a medicine that is given to you when you are bitten by a venomous snake. But how does venom have to do with AntiVenom that makes it so useful? And I'm going to tell you. So AntiVenom is made by collecting venom of a certain type of venomous snake and then injecting that venom into an animal that can build antibodies against the venom. Then those antibodies are extracted from the animal and then given to you when you are bitten by that species of venomous snake. And that kind of helps you fight the venom off. It's still very painful and you don't want to get bit by a venomous snake, but it is very useful. Not only is some venoms useful, venom and poison both are actually used in making medication. And if you do some research on the medication you take, you may find out that there is venom and poison in it. Now, let me remind you, not venom and poison in a way to hurt you, but venom and poison used to make some of the chemicals in the medicine. So don't worry, they're not active. Like even today, I learned that poison dart frogs are highly used right now in making a lot of medication, even some pain relievers, which was really neat. And you may ask, well, what else besides medication and anti-venom has venom and poison helped us with? So venomous and poisonous animals have even helped inventors to create things like needles, weapons, and even other inventions that we use probably in our daily lives that you probably wouldn't think of. So it's also used in that way too, mainly more of the animal and how the animal uses that poison and venom more so than the actual venom or poison itself. So I get asked a lot, what do I do when I come across a venomous or poisonous animal? And actually, this answer is actually really easy. If you leave the venomous animal or poisonous animal alone, it will most likely leave you alone. And that's because these animals, most animals, have better eyesight than us, so if you spotted this venomous or poisonous animal, it's most likely already have spotted you. Right, Daryl, like you did with that blueberry. Venomous and poisonous animals really don't want nothing to do with us, and they hardly ever want to hurt us. It's very sad because a lot of venomous snakes are killed every year, and it's actually estimated about 6,000 venomous snakes are killed worldwide yearly. That's a lot. And can you even imagine the numbers of the other animals that are venomous and poisonous that aren't even snakes? It is quite very sad. Honestly, I'm just going to say it's a pretty weak move to kill a venomous or poisonous animal that literally is not harming you in any way. Even though venomous snakes is very thing to be fearful of and a lot of humans fear them and that's why they kill them, you're actually not helping anything at all because most likely that snake is never going to bother you. And even if it is on your property and let's say you have dogs or small children and you're worried that they're going to get bit by these animals or these snakes or other animals, then you can always have somebody to call, and there is registered people or even sometimes I've even seen businesses that go around and do this. And you call and they'll remove the animal safely from your home, and it won't normally return. Very little of them ever return because they're kind of, when they're spotted around your home anyways, they're kind of just passing through. They probably most likely don't live there. But number one thing is just leave it alone. Walk away from it, and most likely you'll never see it again. Around our house, I know I have seen a water moccasin before, or a cottonmouth, and I've only seen it the one time and never have seen it again. I guess it passed on through and just went on its way. Are you saying you want a blueberry now? We don't have none, Daryl, but I'll give you a bunch of mealworms. How does that sound? Does that sound good? Oh, you gave me kisses on the nose. I love you, Daryl. Another thing I want to go over, most venomous and poisonous animals are actually endangered, and it's sadly because of us, for many different reasons, mostly because we kill them and other reasons of pollution and stuff. But another thing I want to go over is because they are protected, that also means, you may not know this and need to look up your animal laws in your area, because most of these venomous animals and poisonous animals are protected, and therefore if you're caught harming them, messing with them, or even killing them, you can spend up to 5 to 10 years in prison. Yikes. Isn't that right, Daryl? Prison life ain't no good. Sadly, a lot of them is almost even pushed to extinction. So we definitely want to protect these animals, even though they may scare you and you necessarily don't want them around, but they are very important and we need to keep these animals around, venomous, poisonous, or not. Because honestly, without these animals, you wouldn't get the medication and welfare that you need, or all these amazing things that they even give us with this poison and venom that they actually have. And the more and more you look into it of what venom and poison is used for, you'd be surprised what you'd have to go without if they didn't exist. Plus, overall, these are just magnificent animals, and we just want them to stay in this world. We don't want to have to cause them and push them to extinction. We want them around, and they're just so beautiful, and they're just doing what they were created to do. So either way, if you see a venomous or poisonous animal, just leave it alone. It will most likely leave you alone, and it will probably never come back again. A lot of studies have shown that even venomous snakes, once seen a human, will normally go away because they're so fearful of us and won't normally come back to the territory unless it's the occasional, maybe it's a nesting spot or a breeding spot that the house is built around. Then you may see them more often, but most likely they're so scared of us, they don't even want to live near us, and that's kind of funny since most of you probably don't want to live near them. So if you stay away from them, they'll most likely stay away from you. Isn't that right, Daryl? So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope this gave you some information so that you can share on and even keep to yourself, so you kind of have a better understanding of how important venomous and poisonous animals are. And hopefully, if you have killed them before, maybe now you'll rethink when you want to kill a venomous animal or poisonous animal and think, you know, maybe if I leave it alone, it'll leave me alone too. And most likely, you're right. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I want you guys to stay tuned, so hit that bell so you know when we post a new video, so you can stay updated with us. And we're going to have a lot of cool videos coming out, maybe some more like some herping videos. We've put some clips together from here and there. We've not been on a herping trip quite yet that has enough finds in it to put just in one video, so we may have to take several days of herping and put into one video so you guys can enjoy. But anyways, thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next time. Stay wild, guys. You want to tell them bye? Say bye.